Okay, we're running the gauntlet here through the Yahoo Fantasy Football rankings for quarterbacks. We're down on the lower numbers now. We're going to talk a little bit about
we should be done after
people
this
you
one.
should not be drafting. Probably.
Please do
Let's
not
just
draft.
run through. Let's go as far as we can get with this one.
Tell me about David Garrard, Eric.
David Garrard was statistically the best quarterback 2 seasons ago. That being said,
that's not the case
the
anymore.
offense is
just so
very
everyone knows.
poorly run. They don't have good threats at wide receiver.
Fans are crazy.
Well, I'm the expert on why you should not pick David Garrard.
There you go.
Unless he's your backup, I think he's a great backup option. Mike Sims-Walker emerged as a great wide receiver for them, but they don't really have anybody else. Sims-Walker was practically a walk-on as far as the offense is concerned. Maurice Jones-Drew is their first and only option on the offensive side. I do think David Garrard is a good quarterback, but the offense is so poorly mismanaged that you do not want him as your starter. He will not get it done as your starter. Take him as a backup.
The Jaguars are kind of, and some other teams like Carolina are kind of doing the youth movement thing right now, but it's not working well for the Jags.
I think this could be Garrard's last season as their starter, especially if the team sputters out of the gate, which they probably will.
How about Matt Leinart? We were talking about him a little bit earlier.
Oh, I'm surprised we haven't gotten to him yet. Not for good reasons. I don't think he should be any higher ranked. Matt Leinart has the potential to be anywhere from Kurt Warner last season to Matt Leinart.
To Matt Leinart last season.
Exactly. He's got the weapons that he needs. They've got a great wide receiving core. I know Larry Fitzgerald's going to see a lot of double coverage this year, but Early Doucette and Steve Preston are excellent wide receivers.
Both very good.
We get to see a lot of Cardinals games out here, unfortunately, and they've got really good talent.
And Fitzgerald and Preston are valuable guys because they can run after the catch.
Also,
they're fast, they're small, and they're hard to tackle.
One thing I know you struggled with as a Larry Fitzgerald owner last year.
He was my number one pick last year.
The Cardinals are ahead. They don't have to throw as much, which I think the Cardinals are going to play from behind in some of these games. That could be beneficial to Leinart. That could also be really bad because he's notorious for not being a very accurate quarterback. And there's so many questions. They brought in backups to take his job if he sputters out of the gate. So I would take Leinart as a late backup if you don't have a good backup.
If you need him.
If you need him late, maybe as one of the final picks you make in your draft.
Now, Matt Hasselbeck. We could go to the next room and talk to Troy about Matt Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck, I think, is okay. I don't think he's going to win you a fantasy championship. I would not have him as your starter. If you're going to pick him as a backup, base it on which bye week your starter is going to have, and then fit him in a slot where the offense has a potential to explode. I think Hasselbeck is similar to Mark Bulger in that they're done. I think they're done as quarterbacks. I think Hasselbeck's done as quarterback, and I think the Seahawks are going to be run first. So I would stay away from Hasselbeck. I probably wouldn't even pick Hasselbeck, even if he was available in the later rounds, to be honest, because there's not a whole lot of upside to Hasselbeck.
Right. Derek Anderson is next. He's Leinart's backup right now.
He could wind up being the starter.
It's possible.
Personally, I think Leinart keeps the job. I think he's serviceable, so Anderson does not get in.
Right.
If Anderson does get in, you could get the Anderson that wound up going to the Pro Bowl, or you could get the Anderson that was booted out of Cleveland. So I would probably stay away from Anderson altogether because I personally don't like his potential to wind up being an everyday quarterback.
Jason Campbell's in Oakland now. That will help them, but probably not all that much. I wouldn't.
There were a lot of people who were high on him last season with the Redskins. He had a couple of big games for the Redskins.
Yeah, he did.
I think he's going to be allowed to just do whatever the heck he wants at quarterback in Oakland, and I think that could benefit him. He could be a real sleeper lower in the rankings.
That's true.
I would probably take a flyer on Campbell.
Quarterback.
I would take a flyer on Campbell.
Not for fantasy, but for his team.
He's not going to be somebody that you want to take high in the draft. Don't reach on Jason Campbell. But I think he could really benefit somebody who doesn't have a decent backup quarterback, or maybe has a starting quarterback that is injury prone or has some questions.
Right.
I think he's worth taking a chance on.
Sam Bradford. His first year with the Rams.
Stay away from rookie quarterbacks.
That's enough said.
Stay away from rookie quarterbacks.
Stay away from rookie quarterbacks who play for the Rams. How about that?
When you look at Roethlisberger, you look at Matt Ryan, you look at Joe Flacco, those guys, I mean, even somewhat to a lesser extent, Mark Sanchez, they had really good rookie seasons. But that is not the norm. And the Rams are not a good team yet.
Peyton Manning had a horrible rookie season.
Yeah, they were 1-15 their first year. So I would stay away from Sam Bradford. He may not even play that first week. So I would stay away from him.
Now we have Josh Freeman.
I think Freeman takes the job in Tampa. I think he wins them some games. Don't pick him.
Yeah, seriously. Tim Tebow?
Stay away from Tim Tebow. He's a media circus. He probably winds up playing. If he does play, he winds up possibly being a fullback or a tight end, too. They've thrown that idea around. So
you never know.
You never know, but at the same time, why would you waste your time on him? There's so many other quarterbacks with potential upside probably greater than Tebow's.
And let's see, we've got a starting quarterback this far down for his team. Jake Delhomme is the starting quarterback in Cleveland.
Delhomme. The Browns.
I remember his time with Carolina; he was phenomenal.
The Browns have a lot of really good young talent, but they haven't been. You haven't seen any proof from Cleveland that they're going to be coached well or used properly in the Cleveland offensive system, because you're not sure what offensive system they're going to wind up coming out with. If Delhomme winds up good, they could be a pass-first team.
Yeah.
If their running backs come out of the gate well, they could be a run-first team. And if the team sputters, they could be a nothing team. So I would probably stay away from Delhomme as well. Maybe take him as a backup quarterback
since he is
based
starting
on
for his team.
because Cleveland does have the potential to put up a ton of points. Just take a look at the Detroit game last year.
Yeah, exactly. And really below that, that's your last starter. What do we got? We got Sean Hill, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Kerry Collins.
Sean Hill, terrible. Fitzpatrick might wind up being the starter. Stay away from Buffalo altogether.
Kerry Collins won't play.
Kerry Collins is old, and when he was the starter for Tennessee, he didn't put up very good fantasy numbers anyway.
Bruce, I have no legs, Gradkowski.
I like this guy, but I think Jason Campbell's going to actually be the first Raiders quarterback in who knows how long to actually start all 16 games.
Wow. And we've got Brady Quinn and
stay away from Quinn because he could be odd man out. Chris Redman,
Mark Bulger. Oh, he went to Baltimore. That's where he went.
Mark Bulger went to
Baltimore.
And then he probably won't play because I don't see Flacco.
No, I don't see Flacco.
They've got a great offensive line there, so I don't see Flacco really getting hurt. So
and if you're a Vikings fan, I really think you should take Sage Rosenfels. I think he's going to do it this year.
He's probably a 10-time Pro Bowler sometime in the future.
Yeah. So.
Why'd you click away? Come back. Don't. Seriously, we know what we're talking about.
They can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, well, that's probably about it for quarterbacks.
That's about all we're going to do for quarterbacks. So
we'll be back.
Check out some of the quarterback videos and
running backs and wide receivers and tight ends and
so.
really tight ends. Sorry.
Bad note to end it on.